Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did too.
They're also doing a limoncello cake. Danny DeVito is gonna love that.
Yeah, he is. That dude loves limoncello.
I don't know what to think about this.
I think it's disgusting.
I mean, you know me. I kind of want to try it just to see how it is. It'll be available at all WalMarts.
Yeah, Walmart loves disgusting food things. Um, have you heard what is that brand called? Is it Lee? Hold on.
So just to let everybody know what we're talking about here is that Hidden Valley Ranch is debuting an ice cream for National Ranch Day. They've partnered with what the fuck was the name of the brand? Van
Yeah, that's the one I'm
Van
talking about.
Leeuwen,
Yeah,
which I've
Van.
never even heard of that brand. It might be a obviously it's a brand that Walmart sells. I've never seen it anywhere else.
It's at Fry's
Uh,
too.
what was that?
It's at Fry's too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay. Do they sell it in pints or is it sold in?
it's sold in pints. Yeah,
I just have never. I mean, maybe I have seen it and I've just overlooked it.
you should because they make some pretty terrible flavors.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But apparently, for their launching March 10th, I think it said, which is National Ranch Day. Which
It's also
why
Mario
not?
Day.
It's also what?
Mario Day.
Yeah, see, I'd rather have it be Mario Day than National Ranch Day. Yeah, so March 10th. So National Ranch Day is coming up Friday, March 10th. And this year, Hidden Valley Ranch is partnering with Van Leeuwen Ice Cream for a truly unique way to enjoy the beloved flavor ice cream. Basically, it's going to be Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream.
Yeah, buddy. So this brand Van Leeuwen, I believe is how you actually say it. I'm not too sure. Does some really terrible flavors, including Idaho malted mashed potatoes.
That's just weird.
Yep. They did a limited edition flavor for the Glass Onion movie on Netflix. And it was a French onion ice cream.
Weird.
Yep. I think it was French onion. I can't remember what flavor it said it was.
Other
But
flavors that they list here because it's going to be a part of their spring lineup. Is that what they said? Also include, also include in the spring flavor lineup are sweet maple cornbread, blood orange chocolate chip, which honestly probably just would taste like a one of those chocolate oranges, which
yeah,
aren't bad, but I don't know about that. Carrot cake, standard, okay, whatever. Strawberry shortcake, yeah, that's good. Honey graham cracker, fine, and then limoncello cake.
yep.
So some of those aren't bad, although I don't know about sweet maple cornbread because I like cornbread and I like sweet maple, but I've never had sweet maple cornbread.
Yeah, because they do regular ice cream flavors too. They don't just do fucking bizarre ones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like this one is the Idaho malted milkshake and fries ice cream. They have a black cherry ice cream. There's a I don't even know how to say that word, but it's a coffee flavored one. Some
Okay.
French ice cream thingy. Well, they're all French ice cream because they're the French ice cream brand. I should say. I shouldn't be saying French ice cream every single time. There's cookies and cream. There's a honeycomb, hazelnut fudge cookie, pralines and butter cake. You know, the normal like ones you see. Then you get like Earl Grey tea, which is
Weird.
sort of bizarre. Um, they do vegan ice cream, so that's good for them.
Yeah, whatever.
Um, this is only showing some of the ones they have out now because they're all like they do a lot of limited ones, but there's like pizza and like grilled cheese and French fries and ketchup. There's like
None of that can be very like it can't be very popular.
I mean, other than people just being sickos and wanting to try them, Joe.
Hey man, you never know your kinks until you try them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Try it. You didn't like it. At least you tried it.
Yep.
Just like I can say now for certain, I don't like Pepsi Peeps.
No one should like Pepsi Peeps. We saw somebody yesterday when we went through Walmart. Where we go yesterday? Walmart. Yeah, Walmart. And they had like 4 cases of the mini cans in their cart. And Paige and I looked at each other like,
No, it's not good.
what? Yeah.
You see, at least I can say that I tried it and it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see some of these other flavors that are out there. What does this one have in it? It's macaroni and cheese.
No, that's gross.
That's a normal one. Royal wedding cake, pizza. And they do weird like they do like a bunch of weird berry ones. There's one that's flavored like Planet Earth, apparently.
So dirt?
I
Is
guess
dirt
so.
flavored?
I guess. Well, there's
No,
more
wait.
than just dirt
no,
on Planet
wait,
Earth.
wait. Planet Earth would be actually mostly water, so it's sea salt flavored?
They have a sea salt flavored one. I'm trying to see what other wacko flavors they have listed on here. Like I said, their website, they don't always keep it up to date because it's a bunch of them are limited. So you like lose out on some of them. Then you have like ones that like, sound delicious, like cookies and cream, caramel swirl. Like that sounds,
fine.
ridiculous.
That's something that I could definitely see somebody liking. It probably tastes good. I am more into the cookies and cream side of things rather than the caramel swirl side of things, but I can see people liking that.
Brown sugar chunk with cookie dough brownies and walnuts. I mean, that's a pretty normal flavor.
Pretty normal. Again, I could, I'm not a fan of the walnuts in there, but the rest of it sounds good.
What other ones they have listed here? There's a bunch of just fucking terrible ones they've done. That's all the ones I can really find that are listed on here. Oh, apparently there's an ice cream shop. Oh, that's fucking disgusting. And the macaroni and cheese one literally looks like just a thing of frozen instant cheese.
It probably just is.
Like, that's what it looks like, Joe. You see it?
It does look like just frozen cheese.
Yeah, bro. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you people?
It's just frozen Velveeta.
Yeah.
That's the most disgusting thing in the world.
And there's the one next to it's pizza, by the way, in that picture.
It looks like ice cream with ketchup on top.
Yeah, bro. So I'm telling you, it's just
Is
I don't
it
know.
Cookie dough inside? No, it's just dough.
It's probably just
What-
dough.
What
yeah.
is inside? What'd you say was inside the pizza?
It doesn't say. It just says pizza on it. I think.
That picture literally looks like cookie dough ice cream with ketchup on top.
Yeah, it just says pizza French ice cream. Apparently, they were established in Brooklyn in 2008.
That makes sense.
Yeah, those fucking lunatics. Vanilla bean, normal flavor. Oh, there's the Planet Earth one. That's what it looks like.
Okay, I mean, it looks hints of green
Yeah.
and blue.
So grass clippings. Summer peach crisp. Campfire s'mores. That's the honey cornbread. Espresso. I don't know what that other word is because it's really blurry and it's sideways. Non-dairy vanilla bean. Whatever the hell a king cake is. Yeah, there's just a bunch, and they just randomly rotate. But if you ever go into Walmart, they're usually on an end cap as well as inline, because they always have them as different ones. And then at Fry's, you can see them. I don't know if all Fry's carries them or if it's just like the marketplace ones. like the one that's off of the 303 in Cotton.
Like I'm looking at the packaging and I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen this over in the Fries by us, and I have no idea.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen them at Fry's, but I think it's only the Fry's Marketplace that sells them. They don't. I don't think they sell like the weird ones. I think they sell like the normal ones.
Fair enough.
So like there's nothing special about them. I say that like that sounds mean or something, but like the other ones shouldn't be special either. They're just stupid. Joseph.
Yes, Cody.
We haven't talked about this on the podcast. I mean, we've talked about video games before.
Yes, we have.
But we've never talked about our quest we are currently on to try to find a multiplayer co-op game to play with our friends.
Okay, I'm listening.
I haven't found one. It's not a. It's
Oh,
I'm not.
okay.
I'm just gonna bury the lead right now.
I mean, you got me a little excited there, and then you let me down.
But I did try a couple of different video games last couple days outside of Destiny, which I know should shock you. Mario Party Superstars makes me want to throw my Switch in the trash.
Why?
Because the game is garbage. So it's not okay. So preface this: Paige beat me both rounds. That's not the problem, right?
I don't know. It sounds like the problem to me.
No. The problem is you can't play just two people. Apparently, you have to have CPU players.
Okay, you have to have a seat because it's doubles, right? So it's you and
No, so it can be 4-on-4. It's up to 4 players.
up to 4 players. Okay.
Yeah, or I guess only 4 players because I didn't see maybe I'm just dumb and I didn't see an option not to do the CPU players, but it only gave me the option for CPU players that I could tell. Anyways, so I thought, oh, we'll just play casual, put them on easy, right? Mm-hmm. Which is no problem. That wasn't the issue. The issue that I got fucked both games we played. So
okay, but Paige didn't.
No, oh no. She fucking dominated.
Okay.
So the first game, right?
Okay.
I get the first star. So I'm automatically going to have a target on my back by everybody, right? Including her.
Yes.
Which is fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
She pulls a nice card when she gets to the boo. I don't know if you know too much about Mario Party, but there's in it there's a lot of different things you can do.
A whole lot, no.
So just let me specify the reason why we played it and we got it is because Departy, the guys we watch to play Uno all the time, the wrestlers, they wanted to try something different. Just because Uno does sometimes take a long time, so they thought they'd play Mario Party. They played the new one, or I don't know how new it is, but it's newer to me. But it's called Mario Party Superstars, and it's like basically a bunch of the favorite maps from all the other previous Mario Party games, revamped and made new.
Okay.
So they have fan favorites from the different iterations throughout the years, because apparently there's like 400 of these games. So she wanted to get it, and it just happens to be on sale because it's Mario Day or Mario Week, as some would say. So Target had it on sale for $40, which is the lowest we could find it, right? And Nintendo games rarely ever go on sale, so like,
right.
If you want a Mario centric game, look at Target and other stores right now because they're gonna be on sale. Anyhow, let's roll back to the nightmare that is that game. So in the playthrough with Departy, a gentleman named Swiss, or Cesaro for the WWE fans out there, or Claudio for the AEW fans out there, he went through a roller coaster of emotion while playing that game. He was losing at first, and then just dominated the whole game until the very last 2 rounds or 3 rounds. He just got decimated and went from first to end up being in last by a far margin. So we started playing, and I was like, my luck, I'm gonna get Swissed. Well, apparently I spoke that into existence. So first game we play, I'm up 3 stars with 145 coins. I'm far in the lead. This square happens where you can do this chance to swap things with people, right?
Okay.
Waluigi, who is being played by the CPU, gets this, hits it, and steals all of my coins.
Damn.
The very last round.
Okay.
So now I have 3 stars, and I land on my very last move, lands me on a spot where I get 6 coins.
Okay.
I only don't get last place because I have 3 stars, and he has 1 star. But he has coins. But I get
So-
third out of 4th.
It's more important to get coins than stars?
No, it's more important to have stars and then coins. So I had 3 stars. I got 1, I should say. So I ended the game with 2 stars and 6 coins because Wario stole one of my stars. And then he got a bonus star. So he went from 1, stole 1, went to 2, got a third one for a bonus star, which put him in second.
Interesting.
Second game we play, right? One of the
Okay.
worst maps I've ever played on because like the weird progression of the map is just bizarre. There's this mechanic in it that like pushes your characters back to a certain point. It's real weird and it's not a great way. So like none of us really made it around the map very far. Like we kept getting and then getting pushed back to this one point. Anywho, I never got any like traction on that map whatsoever.
Okay.
And it was just bad, dude. It was just like the game felt broken in a way, but like Paige was prosperous. Like she's like just no problems. Yeah, people would steal coins from her or whatever, but like nothing. Just brutal, dude. Brutal. I was like, so I'm never playing this game again. Cause the game itself, like, just completely bent me over.
Yeah, there is, and I'm trying to find it right now. I love watching YouTube videos where they talk about game mechanics and stuff like that. And I know that there was a video out there somewhere talking about the mechanics of one of the Mario Party games and how it's weighted differently, or it was, I don't know, I can't. It's been such a while since I watched the video, so I don't remember all the stuff about it. But it was something about how the mechanics of like stuff like that work. It's much like rubber banding inside of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You know, where you could be in first place and then literally last place all of a sudden.
Yeah, dude. Like if it was like I understand Mario Kart because like of all the different like power ups and stuff. And in this game it obviously has items and stuff like that too. But it wasn't even like I was getting those used on me. Like people weren't hitting with cursed dice or they weren't like doing anything like crazy with me. Like it was just the game had it out for me. Like I'd win challenges and then I'd go and like my next round someone would steal something from me.
Right, and that's because obviously the challenges are stuff are things that you can directly affect because you have the input and the ability to affect those challenges. But then it's other things like the dice rolls and stuff like that that are seem more random.
Yeah, it wasn't much fun, and I was a very bad mood afterwards.
Doesn't sound like it. Sound like Paige had a good time.
Yeah, she was dying. She was having a hell of a time. I was not. I was very upset.
I can't find that video anywhere.
That's all right.
Whatever. So what you're saying is we're not playing Mario Party Superstars?
We can. I just will not be happy about it or want to play it at all, for the most part. So, you know, it's up to you guys how you want to do it.
I probably wouldn't want to play it either. I mean, it'd be fun to play once, I think. Once or twice, but yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was just
not a permanent thing going forward.
bro, it was just frustrating. I was like, man, like this game, like I get it, like it's, you know, that's part of it, but it was like everything. I wasn't even in first anymore, and I was still getting, the game was still targeting me when the CPU characters were doing things. I'm like, they're not even trying to get in first. They're just literally attacking me. And I was like, I don't understand this.
That also reminds me of, again, one of the other things that I had while I was watching some YouTube video about stuff like that, and going back to Mario Kart. One of the games, because I didn't know that Mario Kart was also the scoring system wasn't necessarily based on whether you placed first, second, third, or fourth when you're going through the cups. It's also based on a bunch of other factors that you get basically silent points for, like collecting coins and different things. But someone had looked through the code of it, because obviously, people rip these things to ROM and break them down and whatnot. But there are certain characters who have points advantages from the start of the game. So, like I said, you can get hidden points for doing certain actions and whatnot in the actual game. So you don't actually have to place first in order to be ranked first, kind of thing, which blew my mind. But they were showing how characters like Bowser could start a race with like 35 points, where characters like Yoshi are 0. So if for some reason the race would end right at the beginning, Bowser would technically still be in the lead because he has 35 points assigned to his character.
Okay.
The reasoning that I can remember that they gave in the video is possibly because Bowser technically is a harder character to drive, because the bigger characters tend to be a little bit, they accelerate a lot slower, and they're a little bit harder to control, where characters like Yoshi are faster acceleration and whatnot. But that was the only explanation. And it was just really weird to hear that, because I knew about like rubber banding and whatnot in Mario Kart, and the further back in the pack you are, the higher your chances of getting something good are when you get the question mark drops. But I didn't know that there were certain characters that had just automatically certain amount of points assigned to them at the beginning of the game, and that the final points total isn't just dependent on first, second, third, fourth, your place finish, and kind of your average of place finish. Right? So the way I understand that, as long as you sit there and gain points, if you're doing a race even amongst friends, probably through a cup, you don't have to place first in order to be ranked first in the rankings. It probably just helps more to be placed first.
Huh. That's
it's weird, right?
Yeah. That's very bizarre. I don't think I like that as much anymore.
Yeah, right? Because it seems to change the dynamic of the game.
Yeah, like that's super dumb.
Yeah.
So not all the games I played in the last week or last few days are contenders to play with our friends. But I played. We talked offline last week or week before, whatever time that was, about No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'll download it. It's on Game Pass. It's free. Might as well. Man, I forgot how boring that game is right away. Because you have to collect resources. Because in the beginning, it's teaching you how to play the game, and like you have to collect resources to like rebuild your ship and then like survive and blah blah blah. And I was like, man, I don't want to do this.
And that's why, yeah, I know when you mentioned it last week as far as something that we can try and play with friends, it's like, first off, I forgot that they even added the multiplayer aspect to it. But secondly, it's like, yeah, but I do remember like how that game began, where it's like, you're right, you're just collecting resources and trying to build your ship, and it's a little bit boring to begin with. And even when you get into the game, I think they did add like some story mode. You can correct me if I'm wrong or whatnot. You can do a little bit of campaigning. But otherwise, it's just like, yep, you're flying around. It's much like it would be like playing what was that? Elite Dangerous. You know.
Yeah.
another space game where you can play with multiple people. In fact, it's literally just an online multiplayer world, but it's kind of boring. It's a little fun for somebody like me. I had fun playing it for a week or so. But the fun I was having was literally I'll take a contract to escort somebody to this other planet or to go basically pick up supplies at this other place and then escort it back. And it's just like, that's the game. Obviously, you get further into it, you can get a better ship, you can hold more stuff, but like at least the very beginning of the game is such a, like, I'm simulating a day job but in space type thing. So it wouldn't be something that would be good for four friends trying to have fun.
Yeah, I was not really. I was like, man, dude, like, I enjoyed playing this game, but I mean, the first time I played it on PlayStation 3, I think it was. I played the campaign portion of it, right? I didn't do a lot of the exploration stuff because I was too worried about someone just coming up and just robbing me or fucking whatever. But I did the campaign stuff and I enjoyed it, but it was like I just forgot how monotonously boring it was. Now there is a mode in it where it's like kind of free reign, but I don't think that would be as like, because there's no cost to do things. When I say cost, in-game currency, not like money wise, like real money. So if you need to repair something, you don't have to like find 15 of these or whatever. I think you just have to do whatever it is. I can't remember. I didn't read all into it, but I was like, that might work. But I was, man, this game is just, it's kind of slow too because there's like no run in the game. So you're just like meandering around. You have a jetpack, but I was like, nah, that game's not going to be the one.
Yeah, not at all. And I've tried looking and I can't find anything.
Yeah, it just, man, it is what a barren wasteland.
Like that? It feels like it just became, well, what happened to Ghost Recon Wildlands?
Yeah, a trash video game.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Wildlands is still a great game. The sequel or pseudo sequel to it was a trash video game.
Yeah. Which when you hear about the content of it and the story, obviously they added John Bernthal to it. And it's like, wow, that's super fucking dope and everything. But then a pay to win. No, not pay to win. What the fuck did they call? Did they call that type of aspect of game? Basically, they turned it into The Division, which was fine enough in and of itself, but obviously Wildlands wasn't The Division.
Yeah.
They're basically a live service game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just not.
Everybody's trying to copy Destiny.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been around for a long time and still thrives, so you know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not gonna. I mean, there's certain games like I know a lot of people like Rainbow Six Siege, but like
it's just multiplayer.
Yeah, it's just not the kind of game I dig. Like I'm not into that. I'm not into Apex Legends and all that fun stuff. No. I just want like an openish world game where I can just run around and do missions with my friends. And Wildlands had it. I just wish Wildlands was a bigger, more open world where more things happen. You know what I mean? Not just, go over here and just... Because once you get through the story, it's just like, there's not much replay after it.
No.
Unless you didn't unlock or find the weapons or whatever, and then it's just... But then that's it.
We never did go through the DLC on those either.
No, I tried playing the Predator one, and it was stupidly hard by yourself because like you're trying to coordinate your teammates, and then eventually I just gave up on them, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna try to kill this thing by myself, and it was just like super. I mean, he's obviously the Predator, so it's not supposed to be easy to take down, but it was just like the game mechanics just didn't play well with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I never played I dipped my toes in the Splinter Cell expansion because it's more stealthy, but I didn't really dig it because I was by myself, and I was like, nah. I prefer having Joe fly the helicopter.
Yeah.
Because he was bomb at it, and then doing ridiculous shit like all of us syncing up and sniping with 50 cals, 4 different people at the same time. That type of thing.
Right.
And then Mike just fucking yelling crazy shit and
Cowabunga.
cowabunga and then running into a fucking base full of bad guys.
Uh-huh.
And us just trying to keep them alive. That
Yep.
stuff, that kind of fun
And
stuff.
that was fun. Yeah. Now, maybe with one day again we'll get a game like that.
Maybe if these cowards start making actual video games that not just clones of each other or stupid fucking battle royale bullshit.
I was kind of thinking of how fun it would be if they would have done like a multiplayer mode. Well, first off, a game that would have been perfect for this would have been Halo Infinite.
Yeah, no shit.
Fortunately, they never released the multiplayer co-op for that.
Yeah.
Stupid. But it got me thinking too at one point because they just re-released the remake of Dead Space. Obviously, it would kind of take away the horror elements of things, but it would be interesting to have a game where you could play a horror game like that through 4-player co-op.
Is it Dead by Daylight 2 has it?
But that's also a zombie game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a trope that I feel is very played out, and I'm kind of tired of zombies, which I think is one of the reasons why I haven't watched The Last of Us quite yet. Yeah, I get it. They're not quite zombies, and from what I hear about it, it's the show isn't about the zombies. In fact, they barely even show them in it, from what I understand. But I don't know. Like, I'm just tired of zombies.
I don't blame you. It's
Yeah.
It's why I stopped watching The Walking Dead after a while, because it was like it just
Exactly.
didn't feel like it was doing what it should have been doing.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like Dead by Daylight wasn't the one I was thinking of. There's another one. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Not Dead Island. That was a single player. I'm trying to think of any other zombie games. Dead by Daylight, Dead Island, DayZ.
Ew, no.
That's an online multiplayer game.
That game
if I recall right.
sucks.
It was single player. What was the name of that? What was the name of that zombie game that you could parkour through? Was that Dead by Daylight?
Might be.
Zombie games. There's Left 4 Dead, but again, I don't really.
Yeah, that one's kind of fun, but like, I think
It
Eric
can be
Munger
overwhelming for one.
made me hate that game.
DayZ, Resident Evil, which I do want to play the Resident Evil remakes. They really do look good. I'm just waiting for them to hit Game Pass sometime.
Yeah, boy.
Dead by Daylight 2, Days Gone, but that's not multiplayer.
No.
And I didn't really care for that one either. I played a little bit of it on somebody's computer at the store, and I was just like, okay, I ran out of gas, and I not having fun.
Yeah.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Isn't that like?
It's a
from
Yeah, it's a
90s?
remake. They remade
That was
it.
a remake.
Yeah.
Dead Island, Left 4 Dead 2, Zombie Army 4.
Zombie Island 4.
Yeah, Zombie Army 4 or Dead War. I think it was a Wii title.
That's ridiculous.
It doesn't say. Plants vs. Zombies, World War Z, Resident Evil, 7 Days to Die. Don't even know it. Never even heard of that one. Came out in 2014.
And went away in 2014.
House of the Dead. I would love a good House of the Dead like VR game.
Yeah.
I'm sure that someone actually has it. I just don't VR as much as I would like to. I do have. Well, I don't personally. For some reason, my parents have it. My parents have an Oculus Quest 2. But I just never got into it. Days Gone. I already said that. Dying Light. Like, I don't know what.
Oh, I was thinking of Dying Light.
Yeah. Okay. Dying Light.
Yeah.
and then Dying Light 2 was the one that
Yeah,
came out not too long ago.
I was thinking of Dying Light 2. I think it was the one I was thinking of when I was saying Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
Because I think Dead by Daylight's one of those like kind of like Left 4 Dead where like you just have to go through a sequence and then like it restarts with another area or whatever.
I believe you're right.
And you have an option. One of you can be the bad guy. I think in that one.
Oh, that I don't know. I
Yeah.
think I only know Dead by Daylight by watching like Easter Egg Hunter and what those guys on YouTube that talk about the different obviously the different Easter eggs and whatnot that you can find in these games. And I think that's the game where you can find like these haunted dolls, and if you shoot them, if you find all of them in a certain area and you shoot them, then like a little area opens up and like really fucking creepy doll shit happens.
Oh, good.
You should look it up.
Nope.
No? Okay. Fair
Nope. I don't need to see that shit.
enough. Nah, at least
Um,
you see it once.
some of the other games that I played in the last couple days, Deep Rock Galactic, I think it's called.
That's that one where you're that dwarf space miner?
Yeah, not that great. There's a lot of convoluted stuff in it to make it like an RPG, and it doesn't really need to be that way. You just need to like go through and like just earn credits to make your stuff better. But nah, there's all sorts of other power ups and other shit. I was like, no thanks. That was the extent of like the 4-player stuff. I didn't really find anything else. But then I tried that Hi-Fi Rush, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's that rhythm-based game where
Yeah.
you are playing as some kid. I can't remember the full story, but yeah, like you fight to the beat of the music.
Yeah, so the story's pretty cool. It's not really my kind of game. I've never really been a big fan of like the whole like Devil May Cry style. I've played all of those games, but I've never really been really good at them. And this one just makes it a little harder because of the whole rhythm stuff. Like your combo stuff all has to be on the rhythm, and it's like I just don't like that. Like I'd rather just do combos the way I want to do combos, not have to worry about landing on the beat and waiting on offbeat for different things and blah blah blah. Like just wasn't. I mean, the animation's dope. It's super. The cutscenes are fucking amazing looking. The game itself is gorgeous, but I just didn't enjoy. Like I played it for about an hour and a half or so last night, and I was just like, nah, man, I don't think I dig this. Like it's just too. I don't want to say difficult, just too not friendly enough to lend my time into it. So like that's not. It's a great game if you're into those sort of things. Just dig it. It's fucking rad. But I just don't like that style. I just want to. I'm more of a lazy person and don't want to have to worry about matching a weird game mechanic just to get combos to work.
I was going to say that yeah, there are certain games that are very cool, but there are mechanics to these games, to some games that are just like it's not my cup of tea. Like I really like the idea of some of the older Final Fantasy games, but I don't like the battle mechanics of them.
Yeah, the turn-based
The
ones.
turn-based stuff of it. I know I was talking to somebody at work about this, where obviously they did a Final Fantasy VII remake, and they changed up the combat system quite a bit, so it's not turn-based combat. Although the person I was talking to said it's still kind of turn-based, but it's not quite. So that might be a game where I go and try to see if they change things. And I know that they've done it in other Final Fantasy games. I just know that Final Fantasy VII is like one of the big games, and so is 14.
Yeah, I think so.
And those ones have different fighting mechanics in them. But I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I wish I could say that I've been playing video games and having fun. I just haven't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was even thinking about this, and hear me out on this one. I don't think it'll fly because of similar mechanics to or similar things to wow, I totally spaced No Man's Sky. God damn it, I can't think today.
Okay.
I'm tired. Um, the From Software game, Elden Ring. It is technically multiplayer, but I don't think you can access multiplayer until a little bit further into the game.
I thought you had to beat the
Uh,
campaign to get multiplayer.
no, you don't have to beat the campaign. You have to get to a certain point where you can get an item called something finger,
Sorry.
and then it
that caught me off guard.
allows you to create a lobby essentially that people can log into, and then you place a marker down, and then you can pick and choose who comes into your game. I Now that I think about it, though, I think it's only two player.
Finger server.
Finger server, is that what it's called?
Oh, finger severer. Sorry. I see it.
Severer.
Yeah. This item lets you back out of the player's game after. Oh no, that's the. Oh. Someone's sign on the ground to some players encounter. Oh.
But now that I talk it through, I want to say it's actually only like one or two people that you can summon.
Tarnished's furled finger is what it's called.
Yeah, that sounds right.
This item lets you leave your own summon sign on the ground to be summoned by players who encounter it if they choose. It can be used indefinitely without being consumed. Interesting. That seems very difficult to do just for playing with your friends.
Right. There is, if that is the thing that I'm thinking of the actual way to do it, it is a little bit more like you have to be a little bit further into the open world. And it's something that you can totally just pass by, apparently,
Oh, good.
and not even know that you passed by it.
That's good. I hear there's a lot of random shit in that game where you turn down a different path in a cave, and all of a sudden you're in a weird encounter that gives you some legendary item that 0.4% of the game players have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like it is a very straightforward thing to do.
Sounds about right. Cause yeah, I've been heavily searching for it, but I've been looking around in my free time for different stuff. But I was like, man, I just don't find any of these no games. I was like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why are they so? Why is this so a hard thing to fucking do?
I don't know, man.
Probably because they can't find a way to make it a live service, so they can't keep gaining money off of it. So they're like, well, nope, gotta try something else.
Yeah, could very well be.
Because the Division did that with their seasons, and I stopped playing it because of it, because it's such a money grab for not really expanding the game.
No, I remember going from one. We were almost finished with the one season where you had to take down the three bosses.
Yeah.
And then the next season was that again.
Yep.
Because they didn't have anything else to do, and it was like, are you serious?
Yeah, and it's not even like they didn't give you new areas to go. You went to the same places to kill a different person.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not even unlocking anything good for this.
No.
Just more cosmetics or a different looking backpack. And I was like, this is stupid.
I was surprised to hear when I went back, when I went looking through these games and whatnot, that the Division had still kept releasing new stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're still doing it.
Yeah. It boggled my mind because it was like, well, are you guys just... I didn't really look into much else into it of what they had actually released, but it was like, did you guys just keep rehashing the same content over and over again?
They did add a couple other things. Like there's like this like tower, not tower defense. It's like a tower play where you basically like have to
That was
survive.
added not too long after we quit, though. That was that, but that was still like a player versus player type thing.
No,
Where
there's
you
a
had to.
different one in there now.
Oh, there's a different one in there.
Yeah, where you go in and it's PvP, it's PvE, but it's like this like you have to what's it called? Uh, it's like like a wave based thing. Like more waves coming as you go higher up in the tower, and you unlock better uh um items. And then but if you die, you lose them.
Hmm.
So you have to exit when you think like, oh, we're good right now, and like you leave or whatever.
Uh huh.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's called Tower, I believe, is what it's called. Oh, this. Wait, is it the Summit? The Summit mode, yeah, the Summit. It's a new end-game activity, and there's 100 floors possible to go through. It's like kind of like a way in a raid, even though their raids were they did introduce a raid in the game, but like it just wasn't. I don't know, man. That game, the difficulty curve on that game was kind of borderline ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially when you got into content like that. Like I remember even in the first game, we never even finished those types of weird side content things because it just the difficulty would ramp up so high.
Yeah, yeah. So like it says, agents' progress is saved at checkpoints every first, fourth, seventh, and 10th floor. So like 1, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 17, 20, etc. Blah blah blah. So you
Hmm.
can go through, and as soon as you get to one of those, your progression save. If you go past that and you die, you lose whatever else you've gained, but you save like progression at that point.
Yeah.
And you respawn to the last checkpoint. And eventually, you can just leave whenever you want. Um, so that was kind of cool. I played it a little bit because like it's free content without having to buy the season. Because again, buying the season, all it does is like unlock new cosmetics. There's like really no reason to do it.
Hmm.
Which I mean, obviously they don't want to go into the whole pay to win fiasco that some games have gone into. Um, so like it's all just wanting to look different than everybody else, but like everybody still looks the same because well nobody wants to be outlandish like me and wear bucket hats and rainbow shirts.
No.
Um, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting thing, and that obviously they're making things different, but like it just wasn't enough. I don't think.
No. No. It's not.
Yeah. So I mean, it was interesting, but many a good hour played that game with friends, and it was a good time. And then they just didn't want to make another one, so they're like, hey, we should do just charge people to play the same game over and over again with different looking bad guys.
Yeah, because that's fun.
Yeah. And they added new exotics and things like that, but I was like, that's not enough.
No, it wasn't.
And it sucked too because like that was one of those games where like they gated certain things by putting it in like the PvP area,
Hmm.
or PvP PvE or whatever the fuck they call the dark zone in the second one. And it was just like that's not. But then you look at it and like they sound like a really cool like weapon, but then you realize like the bonuses and like the perks for it are mainly designed for the dark zone, and you're like,
Yeah.
mm. I think like I was like that's not cool, bro.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird, but yeah, the search is going on. I just don't know if like I was trying to see if like even like some like they announced anything newer, and they haven't really announced anything new coming out this year or soon that would have 4-player co-op or co-op in general without being like some online bullshit game.
Hmm.
But we have to find it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to see, um, if Starfield was going to be multiplayer or not.
I believe it's not.
Starfield is a single-player game and no multiplayer or online mode, at least, has been revealed at this point. When was that answered? Game Rant said why Starfield is likely to get its own online multiplayer something or other. I'm not going to click on your link because I don't like your website. I don't. Have you ever gone to Game Rant's website? It's fucking terrible.
So. I don't really go to websites anymore.
Yeah, I usually use the news app too.
Yeah.
The only thing here's a weird little problem I have with the news app, right? The search is very not great. Like if you look up a certain thing, right? You type in video games, you're going to get a bunch of articles about video games. Cool. But if you want to be more specific, it's so hard to find articles about certain things. Like I was looking up someone the other day and it started talking, like the article I clicked on, I can't remember where it's at now. I read too much stuff on there, so I can't even go back through the history. But I was like, oh, cool, this is going to be about it. And then like he was mentioned in it, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But the headline made it sound like the article was going to be about him, and I was like, okay.
I've just run into the problem where, like, I know what I'm looking for, I just can't find it. So I search for it, and I just can't find it.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up in the search for some reason.
Yeah. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
The other thing that needs to be a thing you can do too, and I don't know if it works on the PC. Let's try it out here. I have an article open. I know it shocks you. It's about Destiny.
Shocking.
But you know,
talking about the new season where basically everything goes to crap.
Oh no, they fixed a lot of things, but they also broke some things. But man, I'll say this though.
I don't mean anything like that. Like the way, because I did I watch the trailer for that? I don't think I watched the trailer for the new season. But the way that they make it sound is that whatever. What is that giant ball thing called? The Guardian?
Sorry, I'm yawning right now.
It makes it look like the Cabal are about to like really push forward and make a dent in Earth's defenses and whatnot. That's the way it looks to me and kind of sounds like.
So the Cabal is definitely a penultimate bad guy, but it's evolved a little past that. Like we actually have the base, the majority of Cabal army is actually an ally now.
Oh,
after one of the previous seasons, but one of the original bad guys, Callus, who was the former leader of the Cabal, is back with what they refer to as the Witness, who is you find out. So
he was in a previous season, right?
Yeah, he was the big bad guy at the in one of the very first like newer raids. And like he basically you kill him, and you find out he's like a cybernetic thing that would clone himself and blah blah blah. Anyways, he came back in the form of what they refer to as nightmares, because it was like this season they're building to this basic thing where like they're wrapping up the main story that started in Destiny 1 with the collapse and the darkness. So I don't think you ever played the first one.
No.
So
I quit after the Mars one.
Yeah, so the main story of the first one is we as Guardians, who are given the light by the Traveler.
The Traveler
is the big orb thing you were talking about.
Orb thing. Yeah.
We have become defenders of our planet because we had this evolving technology collapse, essentially, right? So society fell because of this, blah, 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 right? There's a lot more to it, but I'm simplifying it. This prevailing darkness, literally darkness surrounding, coming towards Earth, needed to be stopped. So that was the whole premise of the first game. You stop it, boom, you're good to go. Boom, boom, boom. But they teased we don't know anything about the Traveler. We don't know where it came from. We don't know what this darkness is, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward many moons later to Destiny 2, many years into Destiny 2, and we finally are confronted by someone called the Witness. and the witness is that prevailing darkness. That is them being outside of our universe, essentially reaching through with these powers to try to do something with the Traveler. That's essentially called the final shape. That's the only the thing they reference it to. Spoiler alert: nothing good has happened to the Guardians since Destiny 2 started. So, Destiny 1, you become essentially a fucking space god, even though they always find a way to make you not that powerful, even though in the cutscenes, Ikora's fucking flying around all the time, but no other warlock can fly around all the time. Anyhow. And the Destiny 2 starts, as you know, from playing from the beginning of Destiny 2, that this new Cabal army, headed up by Gaul, who was the second command behind Callus, has basically refortified the drive to capture the Traveler, and they devised a way to capture the Traveler and strip Guardians of the Light. By doing this, they attack the tower, and because they have a way to capture the witness or the Traveler and shut off our light, we become essentially mortal. At that point, we can't just resurrect ourselves and just keep going, and we have a limited light power or none at some point, and they decimate the tower. It's a very disheartening event. Eventually, you beat him, and everything seems to go well. Skip forward until Forsaken, when Cayde 6, everyone's favorite NPC, gets murdered. And then jump forward more, and one of our big bad guys from the first game, well, second game, but from mentioned in the first game, comes back, and after we had defeated her, she is imbued by the Traveler with light.
Okay.
So now we're fighting against a chosen, essentially a guardian, right? So that's not really that happy. Fast forward some other stuff and some nightmare stuff, and Callus comes back in forms of nightmares, and you find out that he's actually not dead. He's been resurrected by the Witness and kind of put back in the seat of power in a new way, because she's using him because she, or they, I don't know if it's a she or whatever, it's very feminine but also not, can't really interact directly with stuff in our universe. That's why it's been having all these proxies come about, including all these other bad guys we've fought in the past, all for the sake of the final shape, which we don't even know yet. So we fast forward to the new season, or the new expansion and new season, and you think we're gonna finally get ahead. Nope. So you fail to stop the Witness and Callus from getting this artifact that will help them do something to the Traveler, and they do it. They win. And the Witness walks into our world, opens a glowing tie-dye triangle in the middle of the Traveler, and walks through it.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's just so depressing, the story, because like no matter what we do and how many bad guys we beat, ultimately we fail every single time, and more people suffer because of it. But the game is really fun, and the new season is real fun, and the new expansion is real fun because they changed a lot of stuff for quality of life purposes, and made it so much better. Like, for a while, they were really diving into the whole, like, let's make this more RPG.
Yeah.
And it was really agonizingly terrible, because they had all these, every season they add this new currency that you had to grind for, that ultimately, like...
And that's why I gave up.
Yeah.
I think I bought, now that I was thinking about it, I think I bought Forsaken, because that was the expansion just after
Warmind. Yeah.
And I remember starting it and being like, oh, I have this new currency I have to collect, and also they changed the way that you upgrade your guns and this and that, and it was just like, oh, well, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've rolled a lot of that back. They've changed things. When they brought out weapon crafting, which just happened a couple seasons ago, everyone was really happy. And then they found out how ridiculous it is to get it. And then they've been working forward to changing things, and they've eliminated certain things, like so you don't have to have as many craftable materials to make them, which would be better. Now they've changed even more, and like this, I'm not trying to sell you on it and say, hey, you should play it, Joe, but I'm just saying they've done a lot of quality of life changes to make the game that much better. And you're like, oh, okay, well that would make it easier, so it might need to be boring. They actually stepped up the level difficulty, so like you really need to strive to get better stuff versus before where it's like power gating certain activities. They've eliminated that for the most part. Once you get to like a certain point, it'll power manage you up or down depending on what the needed process is. So if you go into an event, they'll put you at the bare minimum, so all your stuff will be leveled, not leveled permanently, but during that event it'll be kicked up to the bare minimum you need to be able to play the event or whatever it happens to be. So it'll be more challenging, but it's essentially doable for the most part. The weapon crafting has been slimmed down to being an actual usable thing so far. So little things like that. But then they introduced a new subclass which has a new power abilities and all sorts of fun stuff in it. So that's kind of cool. Stasis is still one of the worst subclasses they've ever created because it's so not really that great of a usable thing. Like your grenades just freeze people, and you're like,
At least
what?
do some damage.
Yeah, you make them susceptible to be like they're standing still. So, but other than like barely red bar ads might die from it, but like for the most part, that doesn't do any explosion stuff. And like I was like, man, this subclass is just terrible. The new one's actually pretty dope. They did introduce something that is super dumb and shouldn't be the way it is, but it's the whole new swinging from the air thing. It's a really cool mechanic, but like it's also a hindrance because they made it your grenade. So you have an option for like 3 different types of grenades, and that's one of them. So it has a recharge time. And even when you're outside of combat, the recharge time is still high. So if you're trying to use it as a mode of transportation, you can't, because you get one swing and that's literally about it. You have to wait for it to recharge. It's real dumb. One of the cool things though is you can use it to grapple an enemy, and then as you get closer, you hit the melee button and you like do an area effect thing, which is pretty rad. Even if you don't take down that person, it clears ads around them and causes things like area effect damage stuff. It's pretty cool. But like I went away from it really quickly because I was like, this is, at least they didn't make it where you had to use it to traverse the area. There's ways around it so you don't have to use that grapple thing. But I was like, man, you should have just made this like a grapple mechanic. If you have the strand subclass on, you can use the grapple for traversal but not as a weapon. And then if you want to use it as a weapon, you can turn that on. But yeah, man, that's pretty poopy about it. But strand subclass is pretty rad and super fun to just play around with and do things. And they've made the other subclasses kind of better, except for Stasis still fucking blows because it freezes stuff. And it's like, great. And of course, I thought the Warlock was going to get shit on again with its super, but the super is actually pretty gnarly. So it's pretty fun to do, and usually can do quite a bit of damage. Anyhow, don't go on a more of a deep dive rant on Destiny
it's
again.
That time.
But it is roughly that time to wrap up this episode of Comes Naturally. We have been
Joe.
I have been Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.